states, how often do you need to visit? How often do you need to go there to make sure
Yeah.
that you know what I mean? Because
Great question. Yeah.
Lance, we do have, I have decent amount of time to travel for the month of like June, beginning of July. But other than that, in my current job, it is very hard to get away during the
Yeah.
school year.
Yeah.
I
As a
really
principal, you're
expect,
basically always on call.
yeah, they really expect me to be there every day, and
Yeah.
things don't seem to go as well when I'm not there.
Yeah, this is a really good question because part of this is the managing remotely piece. The other is it's a cousin of kind of systems and scale and what we talked about, building out systems so that you don't have to be there. I've closed, I don't know, 25 doors since being to my market. I haven't been to my market in, I don't know, a couple of years. So that's totally doable. You just have to have the right systems in place. And really, the only reason I'll go to my market now is to meet up with my team there and really just say thank you, take them out to dinner, and kind of like get to know them a little bit more personally. And maybe look around the market, do some market due diligence for mid to large multifamily. But when you're saying investing in multiple states, one thing I will clarify is when you start, pick one market. Don't pick multiple markets, just pick one market. And then if you want to down the road, after you got your systems and everything built out, you can add a market. That's totally fine. But start out with one market. The reason I say that is when you pick multiple markets, you focus less, and growth is going to come from where you focus. If you pick one market, what it requires you to do is, let's say you've got your team all built out, but you're really struggling to get deal inflow. It forces you to go straight through that door, straight through that problem, and face it head on, because otherwise you're not going to get any deals, right? You're not going to close on anything if you don't have the right deals coming in. Whereas if you're in two markets, you might have great deal flow in market B, but you've got your team built out in market A. So you're going to be analyzing a bunch of deals for market B, but you're going to feel like you're spinning your wheels because you can't move on any of them, right? You find something really good and you're like, oh, I'm going to get under contract on this, but I can't validate the ARV because I don't have an agent there that's an expert in that market. I can't validate my rent, and I can't validate my construction costs because I don't have a team built out there. All right. You're going to end up splitting your focus, and it's going to slow you down. So pick one market. If you want market B, that's fine. You can pick market B, but pick one market to move on.
Okay.
That's the first thing. Then once you get down the road, if you say, I want to add a market so that we can scale faster, totally fine. That's great. That's completely up to you. So that's the first piece. The second piece is, how do you do it? So one is answering the question, why would you go to that market, right? So, or maybe even simplifying that analog, why would you go see your investment property anyway, right? Under what circumstances would you do it? Well, maybe you do it to purchase, right? You might want to see it, walk through it, and inspect the property, right? Either with the inspector or do a walkthrough for purchase, right? That's one reason. Another might be because something breaks, right? And you need to self-manage the property. You got to go fix the toilet or whatnot. We talked about how you guys said we don't have the time for that, nor the affections for that. Like, I don't want to be an expert in fixing toilets or hanging drywall. I just want the passive income. All right. So those are two reasons, right? And then there's a myriad of others. Those can all be done remotely. I do all of those remotely. For walkthroughs and inspections, pre-purchase, I'll have my agent or maybe a project manager in the market. And really, project manager is a fancy title for somebody that will be my boots on the ground. The first project manager I ever had was a college student at the local university who really wanted to learn real estate. So I told him, hey, I'll teach you everything I know. You be my boots on the ground. And then every time he did something for me, I sent him $25, $50 or whatever on Venmo. And if he managed a property for me and was my eyes during rehab, which is the way to provide accountability to your contractor, having someone come in, check, take pictures, take videos, and send them to you, right? That's one of the ways that you can manage their accountability, is having a third party involved in that, so you know exactly what the property looks like. When he would do that, I would give him anywhere between $500 and $1,500 per project. All right, so that's one of the ways that you can manage it remotely. But walking through that property, I just have them either take a complete walkthrough, interior and exterior, and upload it to YouTube, send me the link, or I'll FaceTime with them. Right now that we've gotten in such a good rhythm that she knows what I'm asking for, my property manager that does this, She just sends me a YouTube link. She does it at her convenience instead of us having to schedule our own schedules together. All right. And consider each other's own constraints. So that's one. The other would be if you're fixing something. All right. Well, if you're fixing something and you've got a property manager, they're going to manage that. All right. Now, if it's a small fix, they'll take care of it. I tell my property manager, if it's less than $500, just do it. All right. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear about it, because that takes my focus away from the other things I could be doing, which one could be scaling my portfolio, but also it's the time freedom that I want from real estate investing that creates the financial independence that allows me to hang out with my wife all the time and hang out with my new baby boy and watch him grow and like be there for all of the fun events and the fun smiles in the morning, right? I don't want to be thinking about some toilet stopped up because the tenant flushed a diaper down the toilet, right? I don't care about that. That's why I have a property manager. So those are the things that you want to figure out how to outsource. If you're managing a team remotely or you're investing remotely, you're essentially asking, why would I ever go to a property, list those out, and then figure out who can do those things, right? Who can do those things for me? And generally, you're going to be able to offload those to either a property manager, an agent, a contractor, or a project manager. Done. Right. And that takes care of that entire issue.